Okay, let's jump right in. We are staring down one of the single biggest challenges in human history. How in the world are we going to feed everyone on a planet that's growing faster and faster? The answer isn't just about finding more land or using more water. The real answer is about getting smarter, a lot smarter. And that's not some far-off future. It's happening right now, in fields all over the globe, thanks to an incredible technological revolution.
So, just how big is this problem? Well, here's a number to wrap your head around. According to the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, we need to boost global food production by a whopping 50%. And we have to do it by the year 2050. That is a massive, massive undertaking, especially when you think about how strained our resources already are.
And get this, at the very same time we need to produce all that extra food, we're losing a huge chunk of what we already grow. I mean, it's staggering. Every single year, up to 40% of all global crops just disappear. They're lost to pests and diseases. That's a hit of over $220 billion to the global economy. It's a kind of waste we just can't afford anymore.
And that really brings us to this quote from the FAO, which just nails it. We have to produce more with less. This is the mission. It's the core challenge that's forcing us to completely rethink the way we farm. It's not about brute force anymore. It's all about intelligence and, you guessed it, precision. So how do we actually pull this off? Well, it all starts with a major shift. We're moving away from those old blanket methods and embracing a super-targeted, data-driven approach. It's called precision agriculture. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like switching from a sledgehammer to a surgeon's scalpel. For as long as anyone can remember, farming has basically meant treating a whole field as just one big thing. The same amount of water, the same fertilizer, the same pesticides, just spread out everywhere. Precision agriculture completely flips that idea on its head. Now, it's about getting to know the unique needs of every single plant, or at least small zones in a field, and giving them exactly what they need. No more, no less.
So, what is this, really? At its heart, it's a new game plan for farming, where the star players are information technology and data. It's all about collecting tons and tons of information straight from the field and then using that info to make way smarter, way more precise decisions about, well, everything. Okay, but to make those super precise decisions, you first need incredibly precise information, right? And that brings us to our next piece of the puzzle, remote sensing. This tech is giving farmers what is basically a superpower, the ability to see things about their crops that are totally invisible to you and me.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? By the time we can actually see that a plant is sick, the leaves are yellow, it's starting to wilt, the damage is already done. And worse, the disease might have already spread. But what if? What if you could spot that stress days or maybe even weeks before it ever showed up?
Well, the answer is to look beyond what our eyes are capable of seeing. These advanced sensors, usually mounted on drones or robots, can see light in the near-infrared spectrum. Now, it turns out healthy plants reflect this kind of light way differently than plants that are stressed out. So these sensors can pick up on these tiny changes that signal disease or a lack of water long before we can. It is literally like giving farmers X-ray vision for their fields.
So how do we turn that invisible light into something useful? We use these things called vegetation indices. Just think of them as special camera filters that let us ask really specific questions. For example, NDVI gives you a good, general, how's my field doing overall picture. But say it's early in the season and there's a lot of bare dirt. Well, MSAVI is the better tool because it's smart enough to ignore the soil and just look at the new little plants. And later on, when the plants are thick and dense, NDRE can act like a specialist, zeroing in on something critical like nitrogen levels. Each one is a different tool for a different job.
All right, so you've got this amazingly detailed health map of your entire field. Now what? What do you do with all that information? Well, you send in the new workforce, autonomous robots that can take that data and act on it with unbelievable precision. And no, this is not science fiction. These are real machines, rolling through real fields as we speak. They work 24/7, they never get tired, and they can do things like target a single tiny weed for removal or apply a microdose of fertilizer to one specific plant. And they do it all with millimeter-level accuracy. This isn't just about being efficient, it's about being incredibly sustainable.
And we're already seeing some amazing specialization out there. You've got the FarmWise Vulcan, which is basically a surgical tool just for weeds. Then there's the FarmDroid FD20. This thing not only plants seeds using GPS, it remembers their exact location so it can come back later and apply a tiny bit of spray,
cutting chemical use by up to 94%. I mean, think about that. And the digital farmhand uses AI to tell the difference between a crop and a weed before just plucking it out.
So, we've got sensors gathering the data, and we have robots doing the work. But what's the piece in the middle? What's the brain that connects the two? Well, that's where artificial intelligence comes in. It acts as a kind of digital agronomist, turning that flood of data into precise, actionable commands.
Now, a key type of AI they use for this is something called a convolutional neural network, or CNN. Don't let the name scare you. Just think of it as a pattern recognition machine. Scientists basically show it thousands and thousands of pictures of plant leaves. They teach it to recognize the specific colors, the spots, the textures that are the telltale signs of different diseases.
And the process itself is so powerful because it's so simple. A robot's camera just snaps a picture of a leaf. The AI brain analyzes it, looking for those patterns it learned. And then, boom, it makes a diagnosis. This plant is perfectly healthy, or this plant has a case of early blight. And this all happens in a fraction of a second, right there in the field.
So, just how good is it? Pretty incredible, actually. Research is showing that these AI models can hit accuracy rates of over 98% when they're identifying plant diseases. That's a level of accuracy that can match and sometimes even beat a human expert. It is a total game changer for stopping those huge crop losses we talked about earlier.
So the potential here for this digital harvest is just mind-blowing. We're talking more food, way less waste, and a much, much smaller environmental footprint. But, you know, like with any big revolution, there are some pretty serious real-world hurdles we have to get over before this is happening on every farm. For starters, this amazing tech is still really expensive, which puts it out of reach for a lot of smaller farms. Then you've got the headache of getting all the different systems from different companies to actually talk to each other. And of course, a lot of this depends on having a rock-solid internet connection, which, as we know, can be a real challenge in many rural areas.
But this quote really captures the ultimate vision, the end game. It's about creating a fully autonomous, closed-loop system. A sensor perceives a problem, say a plant needs nitrogen. The AI makes a decision, calculating the exact amount needed, and a robot immediately executes that decision. It's a self-managing farm, constantly fine-tuning itself for perfect efficiency.
You know, the first green revolution was all about chemistry and genetics. But as we've just seen, the tools of this next revolution look totally different. They're built from sensors and robots and lines of code. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. Will the revolution that feeds our future be grown in a lab, or will it be coded?